YouTube family. What's good with you? It's your boy 2A-N-LA'S, and as always, fam, anything I say in this episode, prior episodes, or future episodes is just my personal opinion. Don't take it as fact. Don't take it as law. Always do your own homework and come up with your own conclusions. Right about now, fam, I should go ahead and tap that like button for your boy. If you're new to the channel, I want to say welcome. Come on in. You can join the congregation by smashing that subscribe button and requesting all post notifications. And if you are an existing supporter of this channel, fam, I appreciate you more than you can possibly imagine. You are the reason this channel is anything. All right, fam, let's get this episode rolling. So look, I did an episode a little while ago on my top 5 favorite optics, rifle optics, right? And it occurred to me after I did that episode that I should probably bring to you my top 5 favorite rifle optic mounts, right? Because a lot of times we want to add mounts to our rifles. And usually there's 2 reasons that we're adding mounts to our rifles. The first of which is, and the mindset about this, it's so funny how I watch trends kind of come and go. When you're in the gun game long enough, you see like trends come and go, like bell-bottom jeans come in style and go out of style. Although I haven't worn bell-bottom jeans since I was like 3 years old or something. But I'm just saying, like, there are trends, right? And so a lot of people will say you should get an optic mount because it allows for easier point of aim. When you shoulder your rifle, if it is mounted just to your Picatinny rail, it kind of forces you to twist your head a little bit to find that sight picture. If you've got a mount that brings it up and you can have a more natural point of aim, then that's good. What some people will argue, so that was all ablaze, and you saw people running out and putting mounts on everything. Well, that's died down a little bit. I think that fundamentally what I said is accurate, but the critique sometimes of having those mounts is now your height over bore is higher, and it requires more adjustment for that, right? Meaning that your optic height, your sight, is higher over the actual barrel of the gun. If it was sitting on your Picatinny rail, maybe it's a difference of this, and now because you've got a mount, it's a difference of that. And so in a high pressured situation, are you going to be able to take those calculations into play? I say all things through training. That's kind of my thought process. You can decide that on your own. The other good reason to have a mount is if you are running some type of laser illuminator light on the front of your rail. If you are, then what you need to do is elevate your sight picture so that it's above that laser. And since I really started getting into night vision shooting towards the end of last year, I started running laser setups on a lot of my guns, which required me to go out and get mounts. So I thought in this episode I would bring you 2A-N-LA'S top 5 favorite mounts. Let's get into it. All right, fam, first up, let's talk about kind of rifle configuration. So this is your boy's Daniel Defense DDM4 M4A1. So typically if I'm running a full-size rifle like the M4A1 and I have a red dot sight on it or a holographic sight on it, I typically will run a magnifier that's going to allow me to take this out as far as I possibly may need to, right? And usually it'll have some kind of offset, so if I don't need that extra distance, I can just push it off to the side. If I do, I can just put it there. Now, the mount I'm running here is an ADM mount. I'll put up the SKU up there so you guys will know exactly which mount this is. What I like about this is it's a singular mount that has a mount for the optic itself, as well as the magnifier, and it also includes, again, the ability to move that flip mode to move the magnifier off to the side. ADM makes really good quality mounts. I'm a fan of this one in particular. I like the fact that it's a singular mount. I like the fact that, you know, I can run my entire optic system off of one mount. To me, that's kind of a win-win. I also put the price of this ADM mount, but this is one of my favorite go-to mounts, especially on a long gun. All right, fam, now since I'm on my long gun-ish, why don't I bring you my Radian's Weapons Mod 1. You'll see this kind of setup on a lot of my firearms. I'm an EOTech guy. I understand kind of the battery life limitations with a holographic sight, but the EOTech is battle tested. It's visually very easy to pick up the dot. Love it. Night vision compatible. All those kind of good things. I love running Unity risers with my EOTechs. And so, again, you'll see this on quite a few of my firearms. Here again, we're running a magnifier because it's a long gun. I like that capability. You saw on the ADM mount how the magnifier flips out to the side. Now, nothing wrong with that. It's fine. You do run the risk, though, of if you're doing some kind of CQB or you're moving around tactically, risking that that flip mount getting snagged on something. Here, you have a straight down, so it stays in line with the optic itself. So I think that is great. Unity makes a really quality product. A lot of times, if I'm not utilizing a magnifier, I will just use a Unity riser. And that's one of the kind of good things about not having an all-in-one system is that, you know, if you're not utilizing a magnifier all the time, then you can just run a riser just for your optic. Now, what I like about the Unity riser for the magnifier is that it's quick release, quick detach, and so you can take this on or off really easy, which is great. You know, if I'm going to do a range day and I know I'm not really going out further than 50 yards, 100 yards, I don't really need a magnifier, I can quick detach it, take it off, and just run the riser. That's another advantage of having these two separate from one another. So just depends on what you like, but Unity risers are some of my favorite. I probably use them more than any other risers or mounts that you'll see on any of my weapon systems. All right, fam, let's start getting into sub guns. So this is my Daniel Defense DDM PDW chambered in 300 blackout. And you'll see I'm not running a magnifier on it. Again, it's a sub gun, 300 blackout. I'm not really planning on running this out to long distances, and so the magnifier isn't necessary. I'm running an Ames on top of it, and this is a Scalar Works mount. Look, fam, Scalar Works makes really good mounts. Not cheap, and I'll put up the prices and the serial number or the SKU number for this one so you have it available to you. But I'll also say, again, we talked earlier about that kind of point of aim, right? If this thing is mounted directly to the rail, now I'm bending down like this to find it, right? But because it's on that Scalar Works mount, now it's right here at kind of a natural point of aim, very easy to get that sight picture. As you can see, I'm rolling that Rovivon GL4 Pro on the front, and the height with the mount allows me to see over that laser, because again, this is a weapon that I very much would likely run at night. Not that I wouldn't on some of my other longer rifles too, and we'll be adding lasers to those over the coming weeks and months. But yeah, I love the ScalarWorks mount. I think, again, ScalarWorks does a really, really good job and puts out a quality product. All right, fam, staying in my sub-gun-ish lane, let me show you my Sig Sauer Terran Tactical MPXK. Such a short, great shooting gun. I had MPXK for years. I recently sold it and opted to pick up the Terran Tactical version, which has an upgraded trigger, upgraded handrail. I upgraded the grip, upgraded bolt carrier group. Such a great shooter. This one we're running at Rovivon GL5 Pro, and it is sitting, this MRO optic is sitting on a Geissele mount. And again, Geissele makes good stuff, fam. They make good stuff. And so I should also mention that most of the manufacturers that I'm talking about, whether it's ScalarWorks or it's ADM or it's Geissele, they make multiple kinds of mounts depending on your optic. If you want to run an EOTech on the ScalarWorks, you can do that, right? If you want to run an MRO on a ScalarWorks, you can do that. So don't think just because I'm showing you my setup is the only type of setup or the only optic you can run with this particular mount. I have this Geissele mount on a couple of my firearms, both ironically running MROs off them, but I really like Geissele. Geissele makes a good quality mount. Again, whether that's the MRO, the EOTech, whether you're running LPVO, all of those are options for you. And let me know down in the comments if you guys want me to do my favorite LPVO mounts, because I think we are going to end up doing my top 5 favorite LPO. So maybe we'll do my top 5 favorite LPVO mounts. But yeah, Geissele mount on this SIG MPXK Terran Tactical version, butter. All right, fam, last but not least, let you peruse your boys Maxim Defense PDX, chambered in 7.62 by 39. Love this gun. And this mount looks a little bit different than the other ones. This is a GBRS mount. It's the Hydra mount 2. They also make a Hydra mount 1. The 2 is kind of the most recent rendition. This one, if you recall, when I showed you my Daniel Defense ADM mount, it was set up so that the optic and the magnifier rested on the same mount. Well, the Hydra mount 2 from GBRS sets it up so your laser and your optic sit on the same mount. This takes some of the weight off the front end of the gun and makes it more balanced. It still allows for that optic to sit up higher so you have clearance over the laser. I love this setup, fam. It's a really good setup. It makes the front of the gun a little bit less busy, I think. And like I said, really just runs to perfection. And again, so easy to get that sight alignment so you're not dipping down like this trying to find it. And again, because it gives you that clearance over the laser if you're running 2A-N-LA'S, awesome. All right, fam, that's it for this episode. Those are your boy 2A-N-LA'S top 5 favorite rifle optic mounts. All right, if you have any questions, drop them down below in the comment section. Until next time, as always, take care of one another and peace.